Hello guys, TavHD here and welcome back to another video, and today we'll be taking a look at this. This is my 4th generation iPod Touch. I've had this for a very long amount of time now, probably about 8 years or so. I bought it second hand and I've had it ever since, and today we're just going to take a look around it. Now recently I did a video looking at my 2nd generation iPod Touch. This is pretty much going to be just the same video but about my 4th generation iPod Touch. So as I said, I've had this quite a long time. I bought it used for about £40 from a shop in my local town. So for £40 it was quite a good deal. It is of course very scratched, as they all are, and £40 I thought that was brilliant, but I got it home and it was locked. So I had to reset it through iTunes and do all sorts of things, so I think it might have been stolen, which isn't great, but that's not really my problem. This is mine. I bought it from a shop, not a particularly dodgy shop, so I don't know why they would have bought a stolen one, but whatever. This is mine now and no one ever came looking for it, so I don't really think I need to worry about that. So as I said, very scratched. I'm not sure if you can see, but this is an 8GB model. I don't know why they used this material on these. They just look stupid. It's impossible to keep them looking nice. I could polish it, but then I would lose the branding off it, so probably won't do that. But something that's different to my 2nd generation iPod is this one's got a camera. It's not a very good camera, but it's a camera, so it's better than nothing. On the side we've got 2 volume buttons. On the early ones it was a sort of rocker button, so that is quite nice. Top lock button, it's on the other side to the older iPods. This is on the iPhone side now. It used to be on the other side on the earlier generations. And this has a Retina display. I believe this was the first iPod Touch to have a Retina display. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same resolution and display as what was in the iPhone 4 and 4S. I'm not too sure, but it is quite a nice display when looking at it straight on, but the viewing angles from the side aren't great. From where I am I can just about make out what's going on, but it's really dark and blue. Not really very good, but it's better than the pre-Retina display on the older ones. Of course this is old enough to still have the 30-pin connector. I do like that connector. It's not great because you can only plug it in one way up and it is quite big, but I do still quite like it. Headphone jack there and a speaker grill there, or it might be a microphone, or it might be both. I'm honestly not too sure. I don't think the earlier iPods had a microphone, which was a bit weird, but I guess it didn't need it because it wasn't a phone, so they didn't put one in. I guess that also saved on some costs. And something on the front which is different to earlier iPods is this one's got a front camera, so that is quite cool. Let's actually take a look at the cameras. So there is the back one. It's not particularly great, but better than nothing. There's the front one just to prove that it has it. So let me take a picture and let's flip it back around and take a picture too. Let's also do a little bit of a video just to see what that is like. So there we are. This is a video filmed on the iPod Touch. There we are, and I'll probably, if I can, put it into this video so you can see it. So let's now unlock this thing and let's take a little look around. Alright, so we might as well start on the home screen here, and the first thing I should say is that this is running iOS 6. This is the only device I have that has iOS 6 on it. There's not particularly too many differences between iOS 6 and iOS 5, but it is quite a nice OS to use. Now, this device after a while does get incredibly hot and start to lag quite a bit. I don't know if that's normal for these or whether something's wrong with this particular one, but that is something to bear in mind. So let's just start off. Messages. iMessage is on here. It can be done between iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch and Mac. I've not got that set up, so there's nothing to see in there. Calendar, that's just a calendar, and the date and time on this particular one is actually correct because it is connected to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi somehow has managed to work on this thing, so that is good. Photos, since this does have a camera on it, I'm guessing there will be a few things in here to see. Okay, so I don't think I can really show some of these, but there's just some random stuff like the background I've got, as well as a video, and some other things, don't really know. There's not as many things I thought there would be, but yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I was going to sell this, so I took everything off it, and then I didn't sell it, so there we are, there's another folder there, with more things that I can't really show. We've also got the camera, but we've already discussed that. Video, that is where you can buy videos and watch them. Maps, at this point, was this Apple Maps? Because I remember they used to use Google Maps. I'm not sure if it was Apple Maps at this point. I guess if it loads, we can probably find out. It doesn't seem to want to load, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure if that's an internet thing or whether it just isn't supported anymore. I'm honestly not sure. Weather is just weather, and then Passbook. Passbook was something that was new on iOS 6. That is what is now called the Wallet app on the newer versions of iOS, but it started off as being Passbook. I think you could just say, yeah, as it says here, get all your passes in one place. I never used that. Notes, I'm guessing there's going to be some things I'm going to have to blur out in here, but this note is from 2,535 days ago, and I said Mercedes 300 GE. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I'll put a picture of one of those up on the screen now for if you are interested. And there's only 3 notes on here. That's actually not as many as I thought. That's just a load of rubbish. That doesn't mean anything. Doris the cow went to murder Simone the elephant. Well, that's not very nice. That's all I've got to say about that. Reminders, clock, Game Center. Again, I don't really know what Game Center's all about. I never had many dealings with it. Newsstand, I always liked the way that opened up like a bookshelf. Skeuomorphism is definitely my preferred design compared to how things are now. Yeah, it doesn't look as modern, but I just think this is a lot more appealing to look at compared to modern interfaces. iTunes and the App Store, I think these will still work. I doubt there's any apps available that will still work on iOS 6, but let's just take a look to see if it is still connected. Yeah, this still works somehow. So let's see if we can actually get anything. I highly doubt it. Everything is probably like iOS 15 or above or something. And I don't think that's particularly these app developers being awkward. I just don't think Apple lets you make apps anymore for such old versions. Let's see if this will work. No, we cannot do this. And it says it's incompatible with this iPhone. Well, this isn't an iPhone. So it's got a little bit confused there. So yeah, there's pretty much no new apps we can install on this. So whatever's on it now is pretty much all that will ever be on it. Settings, let's actually go in and have a look at About, just to make sure that I have got what I'm talking about correct. Yeah, so this is on iOS 6.1.6. I don't think there's any newer versions of iOS 6 available, but let's have a look. But we are up to date, so that is good. At the bottom, FaceTime Mail, Safari Music. I'm guessing there will still be some music on here. Yep, there is. And it's just so cool the way you can turn it sideways and just go through it all like that. That's always been a very fun thing to do. I don't think it does that anymore in modern versions, which is a shame, but that was always very nice. Second page, I've got some folders on here. Got some bookmarks to the Nissan website, Microsoft and Apple. Utilities in here, calculator, contacts, stocks and voice memos. Let's see if stocks is still connected. Yeah, it actually is. That's quite good to see. Oh no, it says updated 2015. So I don't actually think no. I don't think that no, this doesn't work anymore. I was a bit surprised that it did, but yeah, it doesn't, so that's unfortunate. I'm guessing there's some awful voice memos in here. I'm guessing this must have a microphone then. Although I don't actually see any. Is this going to do anything? Hello? It just seems to be static, which isn't great. So maybe this thing doesn't have a microphone. Although I'm pretty sure it does. I just don't think it's working properly because it's not really moving. Oh no, it is now. Hello? I just think it's a little bit confused, so we'll just go out of that. There's some more bookmarks in there for different BBC sites. Don't really know why I have those, to be honest. Then we've got some games in here. Hair Salon 2. I believe this is now a paid-for game, which isn't great, but it used to be free back in the day. I don't know if this will still open. This game's always a bit of fun. yeah, just cutting people's hair. It is quite fun, but that's enough of that. So let's now go out of that. Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite. This is not something you get anymore. It was like a free version of Pocket Edition, just so you could like have a go and see if you liked it before you actually paid for it. So this is like a really back to basics version of Minecraft. I think I've shown this before in my iPhone 4S video, but let's just take another look now, just to have a look if this works on here. Yeah, here we are. This seems to be working. It's not the smoothest, but I wouldn't really expect that. So yeah, this is just like a really crummy basic version. You can't really do much, but it was there just to like give you a taster, and if you liked it you could buy the full game for I think only £5, which is actually very, very reasonable in my opinion. There's a few more games and things here, not too interesting, and then there's some more things here as well. Let's see if this old version of the YouTube app still works. No, it does not work. That is a shame. Google, does the old Google app work with the old Google logo? It looks like it might actually work. Egg. No, it does not work. Oh no, yeah it does. That's quite cool. This is a very old looking layout. So it doesn't look like it wants to load any pages, which is unfortunate, but that was better than nothing, I guess. And this app, I do like this a lot. It's just a clock, but clock with a K, so that makes it cool. And it's just a clock, where you can change the design of it, I believe, somehow. Not sure how, but yeah, this is just very cool. You could just like prop it up and have a look at the time. I believe I saw this app being featured in someone's YouTube video back in the day. I think it was a video by Matthew Pierce, the guy that did Matt's Macintosh and things. He's not uploaded for a long time now, but his videos were always great. I believe that is where I found this app to start with, and it is very aesthetically pleasing, as people say. So I could just like plonk it somewhere and just look at the time being all pretty, if the camera would show it. But yeah, I do quite like that, but it does use up quite a lot of battery life, so I'll go off that now. I think that's pretty much everything to see that is on here. Alright, so before I leave this video, I thought I would tell you a few quick things about this generation of iPods. So it was first released in 2010. That's actually a lot longer ago than I thought. So this came out at about the same time as the iPhone 4, and it was actually discontinued in 2012, the low capacity ones. Like this, the high capacity ones went on for another year, but the low ones went after 2 years. And as I thought, iOS 6.1.6 is the latest version, and that came out in 2014, so this officially only got 4 years of support, which isn't actually that great. Now iPhones get about 6 years, I think. So 4 back then, not awful, but I kind of expect it to have been supported for a bit longer, but I guess it's better to leave it running nicely than keep it going on later versions and it run like crap, like the iPhone 4S that went up to iOS 9 and it ran awfully. So I'm glad that they didn't keep it going until it was a sluggish mess, but I would have thought they'd have kept it going for a bit longer. Now the chip in this is the A4 Apple chip, which is the same as in the iPhone 4. So this is kind of like an iPhone 4 just without all the cellular things in it, I guess. And it does have 256 megabytes of RAM, which sounds like nothing today, but back then that was enough to do whatever people needed to do on this thing. And the display is 3.5 inches like on the iPhones of the time, and it has a resolution of 960 by 640, and that's 326 pixels per inch. And I think that is pretty much everything that I need to talk about in this video. This was just a look around this thing, not particularly informative, but I do just quite like looking at these old things, especially when it's things that I've owned for a long time. So it's nice just to have a look around to see what's on this thing. There's not as much as on my second generation one, because I actually used that for a lot longer than this. When I bought this one, kind of didn't use it that much and carried on using the second generation. I'm not really sure why I did that, but I did. But I'm glad that I have this because it is a very nice little device. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was interesting in some way, I will see you in the next one, which will probably be something to do with Apple, although I'm not really sure. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.